So the next person, as you can see on your screen, is Mr. Bogdan Marzewski. He is the coolest person that I know. Not only was he my member of Private Investment Club, my coaching client, but I can tell you, he is one of my best friends. I call him full-time teacher, part-time real estate investor, part-time real estate millionaire investor. Bogdan is a coach, he's a mentor, a speaker, and a real estate investor, and above all, he's my good friend. And what I'm going to talk about is when Bogdan comes up, I want you guys to be so excited because at the end of the day, not only can I do it, not only can the people that you saw can do it, not only the fact that you can do it, we have somebody else who was where you may have been today. Full-time works, he still is a teacher, he teaches in high school, he's a mathematician, and doing this part-time, he's become very famous because some of you don't want to give up your job like I did, and some of you still want to, you love your job and you want to do this, or you want to keep working until you make so much money or you double your money to do that kind of stuff. So one of the things I want to tell you about Bogdan is Bogdan says, look, I'm a math teacher and I make about $100,000. I make about $100,000 a year. And he thought, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quit when I make $100,000 in income, in real estate income. And I want to tell you, there was a point where he told me, look, I'm making $100,000 in income in real estate. Let's give him a hand, first of all. Let's give him a hand for that. And then he decides he doesn't want to give up his career because that's what he loves to do. He loves to be a teacher. He loves to give back and all that stuff. I'm going to bring Bogdan. I'd like you to make him feel like a rock star, please. Would you do that? Would you do that? Okay, let's go. Though. Here he goes, Mr. Bogdan Marzewski. Come on up, Bogdan. Ladies and gentlemen, Bogdan. Bogdan. Woo!
Come on, guys.
Thank you. Please have a seat.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You guys doing okay?
Great.
See, this is very interesting because I'm the first one after Jack Canfield, and this is tough, filling shoes like Jack. This is not easy, but I have to do it. I was going to be the second speaker, and the time has changed, so I'm the first speaker right after Jack, and I hope you will enjoy my presentation. I always wanted to share what I'm doing, why I'm doing, and I was always wondering what causes us to do certain things in a certain way, and today the theme is like the thoughts, the power of thoughts, the power of things that I didn't pay attention several years ago. I thought I was educated individual, and I had a job, and there was a time that we had first mortgage paid, and I said, yes! And I sat down, and I said, this is it. Like, how many of you want to have their mortgages paid? Raise your hand. See, so this is, you can relate to that. But then my wife said to me, you're going to be sitting like this, doing absolutely nothing? And this is how it started. I had to look for something else and get myself out from the comfort zone. So we found, through just searching through papers back in the days, the internet was not working to that extent. I found an ad when they had a seminar. I had no idea that there were seminars, people were gathering together, people were learning, sharing. So I showed up at the seminar, and I met Neil over there. And this is back in 2006. This is the first time I have learned that people actually grow, people go beyond their level of comfort. People do exciting things. And this is today, 10, 11 years after. This is pretty much, I never look back. I'm so grateful that I connected with a lot of individuals and I was able to learn, and I'm giving back to you guys today and throughout my years to come. So, as you probably, in your own journey, you go through many different experiences, and it happens to me as well. When I was learning why we do certain things in a certain way, the power of thought was something that connects us all. Even though we were raised in a very different circumstances, we had different experiences, and when you look back and start studying for yourself, you see that people disagree on many different things. Great philosophers, great thinkers, but they always share one commonality. We are what we think about. And to me, that was a very far out theory that I didn't really connect because I was very different with my way of thinking back in the days. I always was paying attention to the things that normal average person would do, and I was never fully immersed in this idea of how my thinking can change my reality. So I'm a mathematician and I like building equations. So this is the equation that I have learned from my mentors through reading, searching, that your thoughts combine with emotions. This is the flavor that you add to your thinking. That causes you to act a certain way, and you have the results. And I didn't understand that because I was looking at my results, and I said, how can I improve what I'm supposed to do? I was eager to blame everything else around. The people, the economy, the job, whatever, you name it all. And then through studies, through association, through influences from my mentors, my people that I started hang out with, this is what my discovery is, that change your thinking, change the results. You can't change the results without changing the way you think. How many of you have been told that 5 senses are the key elements in our life? And we tend to always use them because that's the conditioning that we have gone through the schooling system, for example. They teach us always pay attention to, but you listen, okay? They say, listen, pay attention. You can hear my voice I can talk to you right now. You hear it through your ears, but you listen to your heart. How many of you can relate to that? You can hear me talking, but you can only listen with your emotions. And this is something that was new to me. Even though I went, as I said, through schools, I had my degrees, I never was exposed to this kind of ability. The mental faculties that Bob Proctor is one of my influential individuals as well. He talks about we undermine mental faculties. We think that our reality is pretty much the physical plane, and the faculties of your mind are really underappreciated. How many of us remember sitting in the classroom when they say, "You're not paying attention, stop dreaming"? Then I would call, for example, a parent and say, "Well, Johnny is not paying attention in my class. He's dreaming all the time." And the parents would say, "I'll fix him. I'm going to talk to him." So next time, Johnny comes to the class. He pays attention just by pretending that he's learning. And this is very interesting that the imagination So intuition oftentimes is undermined. Perception, right? Our will, memory, those are the faculties that we have to work on as individuals in order to grow. And this is not comfortable to begin with. It wasn't comfortable for me at all. So I want you to pay attention to this slide and see what is that you see right now. Can someone share? What can you see on this picture? Can you see two things? Can you see a young woman looking back? Can you see a senior lady in the scarf? So this is sort of the small exercise of our perception. We can see what we choose to see. And this is taking you to the next stage. Always pay attention to your perception. Always pay attention to the thoughts that you're choosing. Always pay attention to the emotions that flavor our thoughts, because that creates certain action, and then that produces the results in our life. So, Tony Robbins was mentioned today oftentimes. How did I learn from others what to do? Did I go to a special school? Not necessarily. I had just followed and copied, because this is what my mentor said. Just find out what works and copy it. How many of us have been told in school, when you copy from someone, what do you get? You get in trouble. Every time students write a test, we would tell him, don't look back, don't learn from that person. You have to know on your own. And this is the idea that all of us, I don't care which school you went to, which culture you grew up to, you went through the similar system that shaped you in a certain way. So how many of you would share the answer to the following questions? How many ways you can make money? And how many ways you can make money? You know, one of my students in the class, just last week as I was sharing with them that I will be presenting, he said, in one way. And he was really close. Because I would share with you that there's two ways in which you can make money. Men and work, or money with work. It doesn't matter how you cut it. You trade your time for your money, or you allow your money working for you. So there's two ways. So this is why that student was very close. Do we have an individual in this room who is about 20 years old? I need a volunteer. 20, 21, 19, 22. Okay, can you come up, please? Whoever is raising hand, please come forward. Give them a hand, because it takes courage. Right here. Hi. Let me shake your hand. What's your name?
Aniket.
Aniket.
Hi, Tishana.
Tishana. All of a sudden, we have more. Hi, Nazar. Stanislav. Okay, for example, how many of you spend $50 a week? Raise your hand if you spend $50 a week. Now, if you were to put that money to work, if you find a place where you can gainfully employ that money for 40 years, $50 per week, how much money you think you can generate? So what is the factor here that is important? You put money to work, so what are you looking for? the return. So say 5% per year, $50 per week. How much money do you think you can generate in 40 years? Quite a bit, but how much roughly? Take a guess. See, they think that they're in school. 100,000, okay. $500,000, okay. So do you think that is possible? So we are already, according to your estimate, halfway to make $1 million over the time of 40 years. That's one of the possibilities. Now, for example, if that money was employed pretty gainfully at 10% return, so now we're raising the bar from 5 to 10, how much money would there be after 40, roughly? $1 million. Now, some of us, even in this room, can gainfully employ that money at 15%. So how much money do you think that would be at the end of the day? 5 million. So this is a simple example that young individuals, when they say, how do I become a millionaire? Like, what do I do? This is just one of the idea. It takes time here, but you can do that without having necessarily any particular skill for that. All you need is time in order to achieve your goal. So you can become a millionaire as well, just doing a simple thing. I'm not saying that this is the only thing that you should do, but this is the idea that, yes, many of us can generate $1 million just by employing this simple strategy. So this is the chart that I want to thank you very much, first of all.
Let's give them a hand.
Give them a hand. This is the chart that sort of it opens our eyes. How many of us make or earn certain amount of money in Canada? This is from the Stats Canada source 2014. So look at the percentage. If you add those biggest chunks, you get 93% of people are earning less than $100,000 a year in Canada. 93%. So look at the small percentage of people that earn 100,000 and above. 1% represents the 200,000 a year. So 1% of population. So there's something wrong with that. Because why only so few of us can employ or put our money to work or find sources of income through investments, through different vehicles that would produce more money than the rest of the population. And this is very similar throughout North America. If you study how that works in Europe, perhaps in Asia as well. So there is something typical about our societies that a lot of people, like significantly less of us, tend and choose to earn less money than we could. And why is that? Why do we make less and we settle for that? The mindset, the comfort zone. When I started, the first day I remember when I was signing for my property, that investment property. First of all, I didn't even realize that you can have an investment property because I was so full of myself. I didn't even know. I thought, okay, people have two properties because they have a cottage. Because teachers have cottage, so they go to the cottage in summer, go back home from September to June, and the life goes on, and they feel comfortable. Do we have any teachers in the audience? Raise your hand. One. There's few of us who come and learn. Most of us, we say, we know, let me teach you. And this is why they only have what they have. I'm not saying they're making bad choices or anything like that. The mindset. And then we have those people teaching us how to become successful. without doing anything by themselves. So we do stuff according to what we learn in the book, and we just spit out this idea back to you, and we tell you, go to school, study hard, pay attention, stop dreaming, just study, get the good marks, and then you'll be set. And this is what happens. 69% of Canadians earn below $50,000 a year. Did you know that? So when you go to your parties and people start talking about how much money they earn, you just have to recall this picture, and you'll find out that a lot of those discussions or making money ideas or bragging, it doesn't really come through. Because most of us are in different set of brackets. So this is going back to this exercise, 40-year period of time, $50 per week, gainfully employed at different rate, that can produce different results. And the difference between people who choose to gainfully employ money at 5, 10, and 15% is just a very small razor edge. The decision that they make, the people that they listen to, the people that they associate with, people that they learn from, makes a significant difference. They are not smarter, they are not better in any way than all of us. They are equally capable, but they just don't know that this can be done. Every time I have information to share, every time, regardless who is sharing, whether this is me or you, we have always 3 ways to choose to work with that. We can accept this information and then entertain and then tweak it and then apply. We can learn and sit back and say, well, probably it's not going to work for me, or just flatly you can reject. And this happens to all of us. We go through the process, something new comes along our way, we choose to act on that information in 3 different ways. I always was at the bottom of my choices because before I start growing, everything that came as a new idea to me, I said, nah, that's too good to be true. I said, that doesn't work. Those people are just in la-la land. We have to work hard. Yes, we have to work hard, but we have to understand what that work does to us. We can receive and neglect. Many of us will come back on Monday to the reality, to the places that we go to usually, and then your comfort zone will keep you there. You share with your friends, we share your colleagues at work, maybe you went to this amazing seminar, and they say, don't worry about it. You know, life is hard, we have to work, we have to really, I have my deadlines, we have to do this or that. And then if you choose to neglect that information that you're learning today, you will have to go back and retrain yourself again, and it's going to be harder because the people that you're spending time today with, if you don't take advantage of that, then it's going to take you much, much more longer to get back where you wanted to be. So how did I make money without money? One time my mentor told me, did you know that you can buy a property with no money down? And I had no idea. I said, no money down? Property? How many of you have heard that this is a scam? Illegal? You can relate to that. So because of the relationship, because of the strong friendship that was developed over the time, my mentor came up to me and said, I pay for the down payment closing cost, and you have the property with me. So sharing is important here. He chose to share the property with me because there was room for us to grow. Why would you share property with someone who wants to grow with you? Because as an individual, you can only get up to X number of amount of properties, and then you hit the ceiling. So you have to start partner up with people that want to work with you together. So, and then we refinance after 2-3 years, and we get $53,000 in profits with no money down from me. Money went back to the investor who took the money that he was depositing with me to pay for legal costs and the down payment. And now the property runs without any cash from his hand, from my hand. It's just an amazing example that you can do this without having money necessarily today in your pocket. So when I went on the journey, it was scary. It still is sometimes. It is not easy, but I have to always remember that I have a choice, whether I'm going to do this way or when I'm going to sit back where it feels comfortable. So finding people that can help you, always asking questions without worrying, what did they think? Should I know everything? Absolutely not. Should I be knowledgeable about every single step that I'm taking? No. But I have someone who can help me, and that person is here with us. Sunil, thank you very much for being my mentor, for changing my life. Give him a hand. Yes, stand up, please.